We're going to talk a little bit about the internet today and video and everything revolving around that. Well, I guess you could call it video and internet stuff.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, that's right. Scott Nadeau with us this morning on our Dexter Area Chamber of Commerce report. That is the name of your company.
That's the name of my company.
Dean and I first encountered you years ago. You're working for Russell Video. Yep. For how many years were you with them?
14
years.
Yeah.
Wow. And you decided to branch off on your own now.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your business.
Well, I started about 3.5 years ago, and I loved what I did over at Russell Video, but I thought it was time to kind of branch out on my own. And I think you and Dean can understand that. You started your own business
exactly.
a few years ago.
Yeah, as did many people after the downturn of the economy.
Absolutely. So I broke it out on my own and started doing my own website and social media, creating a few videos, and he really hit the pavement. Went to meetings, tried to meet with people, and eventually, after a little bit of hard work, things started to take off.
That's wonderful.
It's been great ever since, and I love what I'm doing.
So give us an idea of how comprehensive your services are.
Well, we do a little bit of everything, but it's in the name, video and internet stuff. So
how'd you come up with that name?
Interesting story. When I started the business, I thought, looked around the market and said, well, what are names of other businesses that do similar things? And I even, at one point, I was going to be Ann Arbor Video, and I even bought the domain name.
Oh, did you?
Video.com, still own it. And people said, well, you don't want to limit yourself to one geographic area. So then I thought, well, I'm not a brain surgeon. I don't do rocket science. I do video and internet stuff. That's what I do. And people said, and I said, well, that's the name, video and internet stuff. And I think with the name, I'm not a super serious person, so I think when you hear that name,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
It's going to think outside the box.
Hopefully, yeah.
So who are some of your potential clients? Who are you looking for?
Well, most of what I do a lot of work for hospitals, in schools, small businesses, some corporations. Most of it's internal video. So it'd be internal communications video, training video, orientation video, marketing video. People that have new products that they're trying to get on the market come to me, and I'll write, produce, we'll brainstorm, make all the arrangements for the videography. I do that, edit, special effects. I put it on the internet. If they need a website, I help them with that. I help them with social media, getting their video out there. I teach a class at Washington Community College on video production and YouTube and viral videos. And so I use some of that knowledge and the research I've done in that area and help them to.
How does a video go viral? How does that happen?
Well, there's many factors.
Okay.
One of the factors is it has to be memorable. Usually it has something that shocks people or they haven't seen before. Sometimes it's imitatable. And the real main component of viral video, which I don't think a lot of people talk about, is at some point, somebody who's an influencer in the community or in the country has to see that video and get it out there. So it could be Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or Steve Colbert, or in case of Ann Arbor, it could be you and Dean. You see something that's local, that's cool, and you say, hey, check this out. So that's how it starts.
It always amuses me because these things generally start locally, and then by the time the nation sees it on a Jimmy Kimmel, it might be weeks or months down the road. And then the nation thinks, wow, that they discovered this, but really some little spot somewhere in America had been already in tune with this. I always find that fascinating.
Right. And it's really interesting. Some of the videos that you see from brands like Dove and Old Spice and things like that, they actually have marketing teams that it's called seeding, where they seed a video into certain markets. Hopefully they'll get media hits, and then it goes from there.
I noticed on your Facebook page, you've got a beautiful Facebook page for video and internet stuff. People can like that page. You work with St. Joseph Mercy Health System. You did a cardiac surgery video for them. And
yes,
you point out here, patient education and compliance is important. Utilizing video in addition to personal communication helps to ease fears for people and their families undergoing a procedure.
Absolutely.
There's so many ways that you can use these technologies now today to communicate.
Yeah, and I've done a few videos for hospitals, almost all of them relating to undergoing surgery, whether it's cardiac surgery, general surgery, or in the case I did a video at U of M for people that are undergoing awake brain surgery.
Wow.
A lot of fears, a lot of unknowns. So what we try to do in 5 or 10 minutes is just show them what the process looks like, who they're going to meet with, what to do, what time to show up, and some things to expect as they're going through the process.
What's your recommendation for businesses out there who want to incorporate these kinds of snippets or videos or on their websites or to use to communicate with their potential clients or, in this case, patients, to make something that's effective, not boring, that will be give the information it needs, but yet really stay with someone?
Sure. What I suggest, first of all, is having an internal meeting and think about what's your purpose. What are you trying to do? What's the final outcome when somebody watches this video? What do you want them to do? Mm-hmm. So start there. Then maybe start brainstorming. Look at some other videos that maybe you want to model yours after. And then typically at that point, I say, call me, mm-hmm. have me come in, let's talk, and let's see what would be most effective. After all, most people that it's their hospital, it's their school, it's their business. They're going to know what messages reach their audience. So mm-hmm. we start there. And then we talk about what's the different ways to do it. From there, I will take ideas, and typically I write the scripts for my clients. Mm-hmm. And from there, we plan the video. We shoot the video. Actually, I don't like to say shoot the video anymore because that word's kind of weird, especially when you do work with schools. You don't want to say that word. So we record the video. Okay. I edit it, and then we put it out.
And I think also people have to remember that once you get this product, this video mm-hmm. that is yours, it's not just about putting it on your website. No. There's so many different things you can do with it now, right?
Right. And I mean, even if you look at Facebook's huge. Everybody's on Facebook pretty mm-hmm. much. A year and a half ago, you didn't see a lot of video. Now, if you go to your newsfeed every day, that's almost every 2 or 3 posts is a video. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things you can do. It's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And so part of what I do after we make a video, I don't just hand them a video and say, here you go, here's your video.
Right.
I actually say, these are some things you may want to do, or I can help you do that to get the video out there. Let's make sure it's tagged and the description's right. So we get search engine optimization mm-hmm. and all those.
So you look into all that. That's why it's video and internet stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just the video. It's the internet stuff too.
Scott, you have some wonderful reviews as well. Looking at one from Green Oak Technology mm-hmm. Group that you did work with. And it says, Scott did a really great job from beginning to end. We were on a tight budget and he tailored a project and budget that met all of our needs, which I think is really important because some people think that this is out of their budget, being able to produce something like this.
Right. And any good videographer and video company in Ann Arbor, and there's a lot of them, they will, if you tell us your budget, we'll work within that budget. So in the case of Green Oak Tech, they make a non-tippable bowl for guinea pigs.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah, it's called the Stay Bowl, and they're on Facebook, and look it up. The video's very cute. We actually had 2, Ginger and Coco. They're guinea pig actors.
I gotta see this.
Oh yeah, it's like a minute long or something. So they actually acted very well. They have their SAG cards now, but I'm just kidding. But so it's this video about doing this. It's a untippable guinea pig feeding bowl, mm-hmm. and so I did a video with them. That was a great review. I thank them, and it's catching on like wildfire. And that's one of the great things about making videos is I don't get to learn a lot about one topic, so I don't consider myself mm-hmm. a master of any particular topic, but I do get to learn a little bit about a lot of things.
What is the technology you're using? What do you have that you can bring to your client?
Well, I have a bunch of different cameras. So depending on what the job requires, I'll bring that certain camera. If I need extra help, there's a lot of really talented people in the area that I'll call in. I consider them production partners, mm-hmm. and we'll work on things. Depending on what the needs of the client are, it's different cameras. I have different recording equipment. I have a green screen if that's important, where people want to mm-hmm. Pretend they're flying or in space or something like that. I have a little different than this setup that we have here, but I have my own little recording, mobile recording. Mm-hmm. I guess it's not a studio, but microphone set, mm-hmm. and I can go and record voiceovers for folks. And so it just really depends on the job. So everything's catered particularly for that client.
And where are you working out of?
So I work out of my home, actually. Mm-hmm. And part of the reason for that is I didn't want a lot of overhead. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to charge. If I'm not going to be using a studio every day, it doesn't make sense to pay for a studio every day. So I work out of my home. Almost all my clients, I go to them. If we need a studio, I run it. So that's why I work.
All right. We're talking with Scott Nadeau, and his company is Video and Internet Stuff. He does videography, video production, video editing, social media, audio, visual, all of that he has available for you in your business as well, and specializing in this. He has many years of experience in it. Tell me a little bit about where you grew up, what your background is. We talked about how you were many years at Russell Video prior to starting your own business, but tell me more about Scott.
Sure. So I grew up in River Rouge for the first 10 years of my life. And actually, this kind of relates to video because when I was about 4 years old, my great-grandfather, who was an immigrant, and he was a communist, but that's another story.
Where did he come from?
Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia.
Oh, okay.
Yugoslavia. And so at 4 years old, I was handed an 8mm video camera. And I think that's what got me started in that kind of that realm. And then once I got into grade school, I actually still have it. It's a 8mm edit block where you can slice and edit your own little films. I did it with super glue and tape. And so that kind of got me started. And then as I was getting older, we moved to Traverse City and I made little James Bond films and silly things as a grade schooler. As I was getting older, the CB craze caught on, and then I thought I was going to go on the radio. So I used to do a little CB radio channel where I'd hold the button down and I'd play records and talk over them. Eventually, they got me to high school. I did high school radio, and I made little films all through high school. And I don't know if you remember when you were in school and you'd be in science class and you'd watch the 16mm film, and inevitably it would mess up and it would sound funky. And there was always the one kid in class that would get up and go to the projector and fix it.
Was that you?
That was me, hand in the air here.
He knows his stuff.
So eventually that parlayed into, I went to Central Michigan University and very proud alum of Central. Fire up chips. I'm actually on the National Alumni Board.
Oh, wonderful.
Plug for CMU. And I went to broadcasting school. So I have a degree in broadcasting cinematic arts. My other major was interpersonal public communication, and all through college, I worked in video and radio. I thought I was going to go radio. I worked in radio one summer as an intern at WTCM in Traverse City.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, did the overnights and the weekends. That was fun. Lots of neat stories there. But eventually, I took some video production classes in college, and really had a lot of fun. And it was great. Just learned how to work the equipment, and there's a lot of technical things you have to know when you do that. And one day we had a class project where we had to make a montage of things we had worked on in the semester. And I sat down at the edit bay and I just kind of took to it. And to the point where the other kids in class were handing me their tapes and said, "Hey, could you throw this together for me?" So I really took a liking to editing. So halfway, almost 3/4 of the way through college, I switched from radio to video, and pretty much the rest is history. I kind of skipped along in video, and then in 1994, I moved to Ann Arbor, and the rest is history.
What brought you here in the first place?
The money, jobs, because Traverse City is it's a beautiful place. And at the time, I don't think there was a lot for people just trying to break into the broadcasting / video production industry. And that was 1994, so there was no internet.
Well, I admire that you've gone out on your own after working with a company for so many years that is so entrenched in the community. And
they do great work.
And they do. And I think there's something for everyone in this community. The fact that you make this really easy for your clients is laudable, because just the idea of that your company's called Video and Internet Stuff, it's going to be fun to work with Scott Nadeau. You can go online to videoandinternetstuff.com, and you can look for them on Facebook as well, Video and Internet Stuff. And the phone number is 734-726-4144. That's 734-726-4144. Michigan-based, family-owned company, professional. They say they're unpretentious. You can see that. And focused on providing reasonably priced video, website, social media, and audiovisual services for people, corporations, hospitals, schools, and small businesses. And you can see how fun the work that they do is by checking out what they have online there, video and internet stuff.com. Scott, so nice to catch up with you. I've always admired your work, and you're always just a nice guy, and I wish you well in your new business. And a member of the Dexter Area Chamber of Commerce on our report today. For more information about the Dexter Chamber, you can go online to dexterchamber.org, and they've got a listing of all their members as well, including video and internet stuff. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
It was a pleasure. We're coming up on the Lucy Ann Lance Show along with Dean Erskine on Ann Arbor's Talk Station, 1290 WLBY.